Hello, Internet. Welcome to Hoard of the Dragon Queen number 20, guys. 20.
Wow.
20 episodes of Hoard of the Dragon Queen. Crazy to believe we've come that far. It's been a rough road. We've been moving on, but we've had some ups and downs, some character conflict, some players come and go. We unfortunately will not be joined by Liz tonight, or Mir. Well, Mir will be played by me, but we will not be joined by her because she is she's sick. She's real. She is really sick. Like not just like I am having a cold because my immune system is shot from being up for 24 hours. Like legit sick. So we can't blame her for not coming. That being said, might be a little bit of a shorter episode as we don't want to try to do too much without her, but we do have about 6 to 8 days left before they finally end this damn caravan. And who wouldn't want to have that be what she comes back to? The actual adventure moving on. So, a couple of announcements. One, we did just have the 24-hour stream for Tomb of Annihilation. That was this past Saturday and Sunday. It was a crazy time. I killed 3 characters. It was fun. We managed to make it through. Well, three of us managed to make it through. Pat threw up 3 times and then called it quits. So, I mean, I guess I can't really blame him for that. But I am going to put a link in the chat because we have a poll going on Twitter right now. Because we're sort of torn. What should we do tomorrow night? We have our ongoing homebrew campaign that we have right now. And we also played 24 hours of Tomb of Annihilation, which in actuality is about 8 of our normal sessions. I wonder if you guys, can you hear that wonderful grinding upstairs from the blender? I don't know.
Not really.
Great. That's even better. So, we decided we would leave it up to you guys. You decide. Post, comment on that, choose on that Twitter poll which you think we should do. Continue the homebrew game that is only 5 episodes deep, or continue Tomb of Annihilation, which is arguably 8 episodes deep if we play 3 hours. We played 24, we lost 3 characters, so some people are clearly invested in it, and they're, like, about halfway through the adventure. So, everything that happened during the 24-hour stream is still canonical. The Deck of Many Things was still pulled. All of that stuff did just happen. The donations for the various armors and things that you guys added, that's all still there. So, let us know what you think we should play. Second of all, I really need to be better about posting this. We do have a Wormwood Gaming promotional code here at Nerd Immersion. So if you go to wormwoodgaming.com/nerdimmersion, it'll get you free shipping on free domestic shipping on any orders you place. And if you order through that link, that tells Wormwood how much of a product engagement we have with them, and they'll give us stuff to give away to you guys if a lot of people go to that. So just check that out. So, that's my... Oh, I guess I should say this announcement too. November 4th is going to be our second 24-hour stream for Extra Life. The donation amount is still the same. We're $1,000 into our $1,611 donation amount to try to beat last year's by $1. And we're going to be doing exactly what we did last year. 8 sessions of 3 hours each with 4 players online via Roll20 with rotating character casts, but it takes place in the same universe as last 24-hour stream, just 5 years in the future. So, be on the lookout for that. You'll see, I'm sure, all of the ladies here, plus some other familiar faces, plus some people you may have seen regularly in the chat showing up to play with us. So, I guess we'll have to see.
And if you haven't seen last year's, you should watch it because it's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny. It went so wrong in such a right way.
I think I was the only player that played the 24 hours.
You were? Mm-hmm. I mean, there were some other folks that were close.
I had a wedding to go to, and if I remember correctly, I had no voice the entire time.
Yep.
I wanted to sleep, so I didn't.
I might do it again this time.
We shall see what happens.
Yep.
We're gonna again. The goal with all of these is to try to get. We have a lot of folks that that come out to our streams every week and donate and help keep everybody engaged. So we want to prioritize those folks to get a chance to come out and play with us. So we want to try to prioritize that. But that being said, trying to wrangle 24 different people is not easy. So it may very well come back to what it was last year, and it's a lot of the same people for a lot of the time because they can just do it. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. That's November 4th and 5th, starting at noon. So we've got over a month at this point, almost a month and a half to decide what's going on. So there we go. Let's jump in to the game itself. So last time, which seems like a very long time ago, because well, when you think about it, it kind of was. We haven't played in. Laura hasn't played in like 2 sessions, which is like over a month ago.
Forever.
Yeah. So last time, the party made their way into the city of Daggerford, and they went around. They did some shopping, picked up some gems, a couple other things. Found a nice hotel with a suite before somebody came up and told Lux, hey, you look like the kind of person that might be interested in an underground fighting pit. And then she did. The other girls cheered her on and helped her out in between rounds. And she eventually ended up winning and got a pretty sweet magic item, which I have to put a little card in the game here for because I didn't. But essentially,
Did I help?
I believe you did. With healing.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you.
And then it just got weird. Because then it just turned into a trinket donation central. And everybody is donated for trinkets. And that was about the last half an hour of the game. Was just me dealing with everybody getting trinkets. So I think we had... Liz has something crazy. Oh, here we go again. Liz has something like a bunch. She has a crate, like a backpack crate full of chickens. And she got the toe bean tattoos, but that I think was 2 weeks ago. Or was that last week? Or was that the last game where she got all of her toe beans tattooed?
That was the last thing we did because then we had our Q&A.
That's right. Toe bean tattoos, live chickens. I don't remember. There were so many trinkets.
I got a Geodude.
You did get a Geodude.
I got an egg.
You did get an egg. Man, I am gonna need to, after this, remind me. I require all of you to send me a list of all of your trinkets after this so I can make sure, because it just got so crazy.
I don't know if I got anything.
I think you did. I feel like she did. Did she?
You got something when you crit. Sent it to you on Discord.
Ooh, oops.
I think it got even weirder when you crit.
It got even weirder.
Oh, I got.
No.
Wait, did I get? I think I got a title.
You did get a title. Yes, you did.
You got that poster?
Was it Lux the Great in Daggerfall?
Yep.
I got another when I crit fire rolls around my skin, and I told you it'll melt my chocolate coin.
Yeah, so that was a thing. You got your fire. I'm going to shut the door because I can hear a baby crying. Yes, you got a title, like... You got an egg. Katie got a bunch of geodes and things.
I got, specifically, 2 seeds that when planted grow into thick banks of mist. The geode with an embryo of a male elemento. Impenetrable iron box bearing a single clear gemstone, 3 empty sockets, and one of them is filled with that clear gem. And Lux gave me her PitCon poster.
Yes, that's right. The PitCon 14 86 poster because you guys are at the pit fighting convention. And then during all the night, you guys slept and woke up the next morning. So, Odella, you also found a trinket that Katie just donated for you to have. So, let's see.
I'm ready. Sorry, my dog is being super cute right now. It's really hard.
That's fine. My baby is crying from what I can hear upstairs.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
doesn't like his peas.
Apparently not. A pair of kaleidoscope spectacles.
Oh, she's gonna wear them all the time.
They
Very avant-garde.
they apparently cancel out where is it? They cancel out the unintelligible chaos obscuring the world. Man. So, you've got that going for you.
Good to know.
Uh-huh. Oh man, he's got set of pipes on him. I hear him through the floor and the door.
Oh, poor little baby.
Yeah. He might just be... Yeah, well, we'll keep going. We'll see what happens. If it gets too rough, we'll have to call it, but... So, you guys wake up the next morning and set out for... You gotta start gathering the caravan together.
Is Boba back?
Yes.
Round 'em up!
So...
I start shouting orders.
You start shouting orders. You know what? I'm gonna say, once you guys get underway, Boba will find you, because it is a little bit of a trip to get to Succomber from Daggerford, if I recall. Actually, I have a map right here I can look at. How about we do that? Daggerford. Ooh, man, he is not a happy baby. It's a couple days travel, or a day or two, but maybe less as the owl flies. So, yeah, he's not back yet, but he will be back soon. You intuit. Yep, so you're rounding everybody up. That's the plan. Odella? Okay.
Yep.
So you gather everybody, your much shortened caravan, which is composed of the cultist people, Lux's perfume and oil salesman, the chick who's dyed all shades, the shade of green, the creepy weird guy who sings and tells jokes and then goes completely stoic and blank-stared, the Serlin brothers and Roswin, Virgil Highflame, the noble who treated horses badly at one point, Reginald, the down on his luck, love-lost fur salesman, Nathan Verther, the silk salesman who is further indebted to Odella, who got rid of all of the... Well, they got rid of all of the silkworm issues that he had. Jeff and Felicia, the two people riding now side by side, and then Farida, and then Ari Lewell, the wood salesman, and then Mir in the back. So, is there any last things you'd like to do before you set out of this city? You're in civilization for the moment. You've got a relatively short trip before you land in civilization again. But last chance to pick up any provisions, do anything you want to do before you leave.
We were just there for the night, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, then I'm good.
Anybody else?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, I know you weren't really around, Laura, so I just want to make sure that you...
Yeah, I got a diamond, right? I got a diamonds, my replacement diamonds for my...
Yes, you got replacement diamonds for your diadem in case you have to use them to revivify somebody.
Gotcha. Let me write that down.
Let me just check Mir's character sheet real quick and see if anything jumps out at me. She might require... Oh, I think she got a martini shaker. That was one of the things that she got as well. I'm looking.
Yes.
5 safe... Yeah, she wrote it down. 5 safety chickens, toe bean jail tats, a flask, and a martini shaker.
Awesome.
Okay. So, without further ado, you guys set out on the caravan heading north. Let's change up our Dragon Ball Super music here. Do some travel music. Wherever that is. I feel like I go through this every week. So, things are feeling a little bit more upbeat for the Belladonnas now. They've gone through some hard times, but things are looking up. They've been on this caravan for a long time, and it's almost... the end is in sight. They are feeling much better about their coming together as a group, getting to know their new members and things, so things are going well. I don't know if I had put this out there, that 2 new folks joined the caravan as well, in Daggerford.
Doppelgangers!
Well, yes, Roswin is clearly a little paranoid after the last encounter. So, you are joined by a halfling, and a tall, bald man in, kind of wizardly robes. They kind of just join on there in Daggerford. So, let's see, do I have any other information about these 2? She, wears the halfling is in leather armor. She's got this weird, like, poofy, I don't even know what you call it, like the kind of, I don't know. You tell me what kind of hat you call that.
Large poofy hat.
Large poofy hat. So that's what she's got. And the dude seems more like your stereotypical wizard type, you know, like he's in the long flowing robes. He's an older gentleman, but he is shaved completely bald, and he has black, like, tattoos all atop his head. And you can see there's tattoos on his hands as well. And he wears, she wears all black and kind of dark brown leathers, and he wears kind of like a crimson royal red set of wizard's robes.
Do I recognize any, like, the tattoos? Is it, like, any sort of language or, like spellcasting type thing?
You can make me a history check, but I don't think so. It's not like glyphs or anything like that. It's more stylized, I guess, if that makes any sense. It's a pretty good check. I'm trying to see if I have a picture of what this guy looks like. It doesn't really jump out as, again, with your knowledge, this isn't him, but, you know, sort of like that. He's got
so he's a Time Lord.
Yeah, basically. Yes. Actually, turns out that was him. That was him. So.
Oh. Is he wearing a mask?
No.
He's got, like, a headpiece on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let me see, do I have... Oh, I do. I think I can just show...
Oh, okay.
So he looks like that.
Don't want to metagame, but do the Crimson Robes set off anything for me?
Nah. I'm gonna say no. And I think I do. Do I have... Oh, I do. I have her, too. I spelled her name wrong, but I have what she looks like as well. There you go. You guys can get a good look at her.
Well, I will introduce myself and tell them that they look very fancy and welcome to the caravan.
And the gentleman sort of sweeps by with his long robes and just doesn't really, like, gives you a curt nod, but no more. And she just kind of seems a little flighty and just tries to go merge in with somebody else, like in a different, like, group. Seems kind of like she's ignoring you.
Rosalind's just like, all right, bye. Hopefully we can talk again later. He goes back to the Cerulean Brothers.
Okay, so you guys set out and head north towards Waterdeep. And let me see. Do you know anything about this guy? You would have seen. You would have heard some tales on your way out. Let's say, about a guy who who is he? He's a council member in the city of Daggerford by the name of Sir Estival or Istival. And it just catches your ear when you hear that he's a legendary veteran dragon slayer. But
Wait, which guy is?
none of these guys. This is just a guy you hear about, kind of in talks. People are just having a conversation about how he's a council member in Daggerford. And his name is Sir Isteval, Isteval. But you hear people just talking about how there's rumors that he's trying to rally people to the cause, because he believes in, he's trying to gather heroes, because he believes that, the spark of righteousness in one can spread to heroism in others, and things of that nature. But yeah, it catches your ear that he is a veteran dragon slayer, but he doesn't really fight too much anymore, as he bears a wound on his leg that resists magical healing, and he walks with a cane made from a green dragon that gave him that injury. So, just a little bit of flavor text. You guys were in the tavern at night, and you guys were leaving in the morning. This is a culmination of, just speaking, what you pick up being in the town before you leave. So, just because that may come up at some point, I want to introduce the notion of this.
What was his
Isteval,
last name?
Isteval. Just because he may come up at some point, and if he does, now you guys know at least who he is, in theory.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So, you guys set out on the road, and you make your whole day's travel, no issues. You guys are able, how did I switch up everybody? Thank you, Mud Puppy, for catching that everybody's out of order on the stream here. Oops.
I didn't even notice.
Yeah, we could fix that real quick.
Laura, you're Roswin.
I didn't mind.
There we go. All done. Thank you for the heads up. So, yeah, you guys are able to bed down, no problem. Things seem to go pretty okay for the evening. No issues. So, it comes to the next day, day 53 of your presumed to be 60-day journey. Yes?
Where's my owl?
I was howled up there. I haven't forgotten about your owl.
Okay.
Jeez. Tell you. But anyway. So, you guys are traveling on the second day afterwards. And then, can I have all of you make me an insight check, please? And I will roll for Mir. Okay. So, Roswin, as you're looking to the sky, waiting for Boba's return, you notice the gnome who joined the caravan seems to be showing an interest in the human who joined the same time, the human wizard, who's welcome aboard one of the other... Actually, yeah, he's welcome aboard Felicia's caravan. The human wizard joined Felicia's caravan. Now the gnome and the wizard aren't together, but during any time the caravan stops momentarily, she sidles up near to seemingly look like she's trying to overhear what's being said. And you see her occasionally starting to hover up towards the front where all those other cultist wagons are. When they're talking and engaged and not really paying attention. How Light, you notice that she also seems to be showing an interest in you guys. She comes up to you occasionally throughout the next couple hours of travel, and she'll say things to you like, "Oh, lovely weather we're having," and I'll just kind of like move on. But you ready for this text? Let me tell you, how often has this come up in your real life? She leaves the impression of being someone who flawlessly takes in every detail about people and her surroundings. I don't know about you, but when I have small talk with people, I can tell when there's someone who flawlessly takes in every detail about people and their surroundings. And Odella and Mir, let's see. You guys get the feeling that not only is she watching you, but she's sort of picked up on the fact that you guys are picking up on the fact that she's watching you. Like, she's aware that you're watching her, and that she's watching you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, just to put that out there. So, you travel for the rest of the day, and your owl shows up that evening at dinner time, Rosman.
Boba, come tell me what you found.
Okay, so Boba flies down.
Speak with animals.
Okay, so what do you ask of Boba specifically?
So, how did it look? Does it look like it was rebuilt? Is there still a dragon there? What's going on?
So, he says to you, there is no dragon. Some people are rebuilding. And he kind of shrugs his owl. Eh.
Did you see anybody who was like middle-aged woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, looks like pretty much like me, but not pink and horns and tail and wings?
And he says, possibly.
What? Seriously? She like hold it. She's like, seriously?
And he's like, it could have been. Owls, we see black and white.
Holy baloney.
Or
Okay.
other shades of colors. I forget what owls can see technically. I feel like
we
we
did this last time.
did we do this? I feel like we did.
Yes, we did.
What did we find out?
Remember to be
Google.
Yeah. That's
Go, Light, go. We need to know about owls. Okay. Well, thank you. I don't know anything else to ask, but if I remember, I'll ask you. And here is some jerky.
All right. And the owl will eat the jerky. And
Okay.
hoot softly. It's more of a pigeon, but we'll go with it.
Okay. He's tired.
Yeah, it's been a long flight.
Yeah.
Chime in whenever
Okay.
you find it late.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
Oh, I will.
I guess either
All
way would have told you that it was light hair, like fair, like because even if it is black and white, it would still be lighter color, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But she looked like me, kind of.
Give me a fucking description.
Hmm?
I'm cussing at this freaking thing.
Oh, all right. I was like, is she asking the owl things too?
No. Basically, it's like this is what Google told me. Post it. Everybody can read it.
Kelly
So-
doesn't even really tell you.
Based on that, I'm just gonna say that they have really good night vision, all the time, and dark vision in Dungeons and Dragons is shades of gray. So I'm gonna argue that it's basically black and white / shades of gray.
That's fine.
And he will also say that yes, possibly.
Okay.
Says you
Good
all.
boy, Boba.
Says you all look the same to me.
Thank you. I always wanted to look like a regular person. Anyway, I put him on the back of my saddle so he can rest and
Okay.
keep traveling.
So that happens. You have that exchange, and then you keep traveling for about 3 more days, uneventfully. And the weather is relatively fine. The rain has cleared up. It's actually clear skies. The music fits the travel. You guys are a little paranoid by this because things have been really on edge the majority of this travel, and like things seem like relatively cool now. And that doesn't seem to be the Belladonna's lot in life at the moment.
How much time do we have left until, like, how many more days do we think that we might have traveling?
You're starting today on day 56. You tend, at all intents and purposes, in being in Waterdeep on day 60.
Gotcha.
So, you guys.
And no more people have been poisoned or anything.
No. Again, it's like you guys are like.
I'm super suspicious.
Yeah, I was gonna say like your hackles are up. Like you feel like.
But maybe it's because I'm such a good captain.
You feel like perhaps Sylvester the Pole did a shitty job, and you are just constantly vigilant, and that may be why.
Keeping an eye on that lady and the new guy and on Jeff and Felicia. Are they doing anything shady throughout these days?
Basically the same thing. However, this morning, as sort of a thank you to you guys, as well as to like a holy shit, we're almost there. Everybody, some of the other caravan goers, basically everybody decides to break tradition of everybody doing their own thing, and they make like a big old pot of oatmeal for everybody to share. It's nice, it's warm, it sticks to your insides, and you can see everybody's excited because they're having.
Who decided this?
It was just like a general decision by the caravan, not the cultists. If that matters, they are eating it. They are eating it as well.
I put my spoon in it and make more.
You make more of the oatmeal. It's like, look at this. They know you've got that fancy spoon, and now you're making more of it.
I love that fucking spoon. I don't care.
So, you guys are, they're all sitting, and you guys are each handed a bowl of oatmeal. And you're about, good to go sit down and eat it. Do you do so?
I feel real suspicious about this.
Are you feeling suspicious about it because of the way I worded it, or?
I'm feeling suspicious about it because people have been poisoned on this caravan and things are going too right. Can I investigate my oatmeal or my oats?
As you are sitting down to like pull out your spoon to start to inspect it, you see the gnome make her way towards you. And she holds her hand out to you and puts her finger over her lips like this. And takes your bowl of oatmeal, Roswin. And you see she pulls out a dagger and she's poking around in your oatmeal. And she lifts the blade out to show you something smeared in oatmeal that looks to be, like, resembles a tiny bead. And she glances over your shoulder to where the cultists are having their breakfast. And says, and she whispers to you, It's a sliver of bone. Curled up in a circle so you can swallow it without noticing. Once eaten, it slowly uncurls inside of you, exposing a needle point that pierces your guts and kills you slowly. I suspect they're in all of your breakfasts. And she gets up and walks away and says, let's talk this evening. And walks away.
I get up and I go to my girls, including Farida, and I am like, hold on, you didn't get enough, and I take them and then pratfall.
Make me a...
Everybody believes.
Yeah, you know what? You don't even have to make a check. Everybody's just like, you're like, oh, you didn't get it. And just very cartoony almost, just hit all of everybody's... Oh, no! Ba-da-ba-ba. Rosalind's covered in oatmeal.
Better than blood, right?
Yeah, and everybody's just like, that's Roswin.
I prestidigitate her and like help her up, and I'm like, "Are you okay?"
And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And I like, don't eat the oats. There's weird stabby shit in there. Stop.
I mean, I can't eat them anymore, but good to know.
Saved your life.
So, the rest of the day's travel goes on. Now you guys are like, oh shit, things were going so well. Now we've got some people... Well, you don't know. You have... Roswin comes up and tells you there's stabby bits in your oatmeal. And you guys are like, okay, sure, Roswin. We believe you because you're our friend. But, like... Okay, sure.
I do want to
lean over to Amir and I'll be like, I think she just didn't want us to feel bad for spilling all of the oatmeal or something. I don't know.
And she just...
I want to meet that lady, by the way.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You said you want to meet her now, or do you want to like wait for later when she said to meet you?
Wait for later. I thought we were like carrying on. The day was gonna pass, but...
Oh yeah, it does. The day carries on.
Oh, I thought she wanted to...
She will that evening when she'll come back to you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Carry on.
So after most of... Mir kind of comments to you that, like, oh, she's so cute. And then she'll, like, push another oatmeal bowl over. Like, nobody was eating it. It was just like there's someone who was going to eat it, and she just pushes it over.
No! I run back, and I'm like, sweat it.
And she's just like, whatever. You don't see any expression because the hood's up. So there's just, like, hand gestures. And then she goes and starts rubbing, like, some Vaseline-type material on her toe bean tattoos, because they're new. And you guys realize that, like, she's pretty hardcore in that she's walking with boots on tattooed feet that were tattooed a day ago.
What a badass.
She's a bad bitch, this cat lady. So, you guys continue. So the day goes on, and then as you guys start to bed down for the evening, as per your typical rituals, when most of the people have sort of fallen asleep, she'll come individually to each of you to try to, like, gather you guys all together. But specifically, she'll start with you, Roswin. Actually, she'll start with you, Roswin, because she kind of identified to you and says, you know, get your friends, meet me over, and she'll, like, point to like a spot of trees, and she goes over, slinks over that way.
Okay. Well, I like sneaky feet.
Yep.
Over to them and gather them, and I'm like, I don't think she's a doppelganger, but keep your guard up.
Well, you would also feel like if she was a doppelganger, it wouldn't make sense for her to grab the rest of your party and bring them with you. She would have just asked to meet you alone.
Nothing makes sense anymore.
A reasonable statement. So, you guys eventually guard up, weapons, whatever you want to bring with you. You make your way over to where she's waiting for you, kind of behind some bushes. And, she doesn't seem to really want to pussyfoot around here. She just gets straight to the point and says, we don't work for the same people. but we're all on the same side. We share a belief that the cult of the dragon must be stopped. I need to know what they're carrying in those wagons and where they're taking it. Will you help me find out? We can do it tonight.
We
I
already
just-
know.
Kind of look at Bella and I'm like, it's your stuff, so it's up to you.
Can I insight check her?
Sure.
She seems super trustworthy, guys.
She does. So when you guys tell her, do you tell her that you've already searched the wagons?
Yeah, because she's super trustworthy. I'll be like, we already know what's in their wagons.
So she basically pumps you guys for every bit of information she can gather about what they're carrying, and seems extremely, she's like overjoyed and overzealous at figuring out what all this is.
Do I know of any other guilds like that would be interested in this information?
Well, you guys, amongst you, you have the Emerald Enclave and the Order of the Gauntlet, who are all against this in their own right. You've met people from the Order of the Gauntlet as well.
Yeah, that obnoxious dude.
You know, he's crazy. Anthar, he is from the Order of the Gauntlet, and there are two other major factions in the realms, which are the Zentarum and the Lord's Alliance.
Does she seem like she's from any of those other guilds?
Her flighty nature, well, actually, I'm gonna keep reading because I think it just says, like, she doesn't tell you guys, so we'll see. So she wants to get as much information from you as possible. She basically is confirming everything that you guys know at the moment, but she will tell you, if you don't, because you guys don't really know, that the guy who joined, his name is Asbara Jos, Azbara Jos, and he is a red wizard of Thay.
Did we get her name?
She'll tell you her name is Jamna, Jamna, Gleam Silver.
No names.
Yes. And she says that she has it on good authority that Jos is working with the Cult of the Dragon. That the Red Wizards are working with the Cult of the Dragon. She doesn't know why. It doesn't make any sense to her. But it's been, that's been the rumor that's going around. And Odella and Lux, you guys will both know of the Red Wizards of Thay. Roswin, you really wouldn't, and Mir's history doesn't really lead her to... She may have heard of them, and Roswin, you may have heard of them in the abstract, and just like that there are people that exist, but the Red Wizards of Thay are groups of very powerful archmages that come from the land of Thay, a land ruled by a lich king named Zas Tam. They suffered a very big blow during the Spell Plague, which only ended fairly recently, to the point where they had to learn it during the Spell Plague. Needed to learn an entirely new form of magic, and then when the Spell Plague ended, they needed to relearn all of the old ways of magic, and that helped put Zastam in an even stronger position. They don't particularly like that Zastam rules Thay, but they don't really have any means to stop him because he's a super powerful lich. But yes, they're very powerful wizards. Some of them often dabble in necromancy, as is part of the tenets, which is not weird in the lands of Thay. They are typically identifiable by their crimson robes, which match the description of what the gentleman who joined your party.
So they're not necessarily evil. They're just ruled by an evil person.
Their morals are questionable at best.
Gotcha.
And when put into a lineup with a bunch of other people, you would, like, there's a general negative connotation about them. It'd have to be a true exception to the rule that they're trustworthy people. Maybe an enemy of my enemy is my friend situation, but that would be about the extent of any trustworthiness you guys would ever want to extend to them. Again, that's what you, Lux, and you, Odella, know of them just from your travels. So, she, again, illustrates how that's weird. It doesn't make a lot of sense for the Cult of the Dragon and the Red Wizards to be together. And when you try to ask if you guys... Well, she tells you all of that. Yeah, so she gives you all of that information. And you guys shared. She's very intrigued by everything that you share to her.
I asked her, I said that I noticed that she's been watching Hefe and Felicia.
Yes.
And if she knows anything about what's in their cart and why the Red Wizard seems to be interested in them.
Well, she says based on everything she would... she's intuited, and what she's been able to gather is that they're also cultists. And that she says... Probably one of the best ways to hide would be in plain sight. If you guys are under the impression that all the cultists are in one spot and they pepper other ones throughout the caravan, you wouldn't think too much about them. You'd be focused more on the cultists up front. This gives them a good way to kind of chum up to you guys and maybe learn information about you.
Gotcha.
Or, just keep have a spy group amongst the people if anything weird's going on. And you will recall that Felicia's cart was full of just treasure. Gold and gems and jewels and all things of that nature.
Yeah, they've been shady for days.
So, good.
Yeah. This doesn't sound good.
No, but she is very thankful that you guys were able to make her work easy, and now she doesn't really have to worry about having to try to sneak in there now with you guys, that you guys already did the hard part for her. She says her and the people she works for will be very pleased by this.
Well, thanks for saving us from the murder meal.
She says anytime. She says, if it'd be alright, I need to see where the... as part of what I'm under task to do is to figure out where this all leads. So if it would be alright, I will travel with you till you reach till we find that destination, and then I'll be on my way.
Sure. You've been super nice. We can be friends and travel companions.
And she says, hold up there, sister. We can travel together, but...
Puppy dog eyes.
She says, but I don't want to... I don't want to bring any heat your way. Heat that may come onto me, I don't want to transfer it onto you guys.
Okay.
So... if you guys don't have anything else for her, you guys can return back to your individual places and then get back to sleep.
Okay,
yeah.
Snuggles.
Okay. Kitty, Odella snuggles, Badger snuggles, Owl snuggles.
Owl, sunflower.
Snuggles.
I have my Geodude, which I sleep next to as well because I don't really know about hatching these, so I'm just like, I don't know, keep an egg warm.
Sure. So, with that, 2 more days go by. Things are, about as tense as they always are now. Maybe I should change the music so it's not so happy. Although I do like this music a lot.
Me too. It's cheerful.
Let's keep it. So, you guys are 2 days out of the city of Waterdeep. You guys wake up in the morning to a... Actually, yeah, we're going to change it, because what's coming is a little bit too much for this music. What do we got? Is this too much? Yeah, that's reasonable. You guys
We
wake
wake up to an animated beholder.
No, but you do wake up to the camp in disarray. There's been a murder overnight.
Again? I put on my captain hat. Saunter up to the scene.
Alright. It is one of the guards that was attached to Jeff and Felicia's wagon. You never really got this guy's name. He wasn't really memorable or anything. But as I stated at the beginning, there were other people traveling in the caravan that just weren't as name-worthy as these ones. And you arrive on the scene, and there are people all around talking, and there's like tension in the caravan. And when you get up there and look, the wound, he was stabbed in the back with a sword. The wound is too big to be a dagger wound. It is definitely a sword wound. And he's left where he...
step aside, form a perimeter. Somebody tell me what happened here.
So, what's it called? The body is, from what you can tell, looking at this, the body is left where he was found, murdered, right behind their wagon, stabbed in the back with a sword. Jeff and Felicia are in an uproar about this. And they point at Mir and says, it was her. She's been shady the entire time, and she carries a sword that looks like it'd fit this wound perfectly. She's the only one. We've never even seen her face, or his face even. It's gotta be her. We're convinced.
Does Mir
Guys,
have a sword?
just ugly.
Yes, she has 2 short swords. In fact, the fancy new luck blade that she got from Magic Item Month as well.
She's just ugly, guys. Don't make her... What are you... Don't be invasive.
Miss, hold on. Let me hear everything that they have to say, and I will... Just saying.
And they basically are just like arms crossed, convinced that it's her because she's the shadiest one. She's been sort of standoffish from the start. But you can survey the scene if you so choose, aside from just the dead body, if you'd like to...
Yeah, I'd kind of like to investigate, see who else is standing around.
Sure, go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Guidance.
Yep. Plus the guidance. Fair enough.
Ooh.
You look around, and it's hard to determine any footprints. Because as you look at the ground, people have been crowding around the body all morning. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like your investigation check somehow gives you a perception of time. Again, some of these things are... that all of these footprints are from people crowding around the body this morning. Somehow, none of these footprints are from the night when he was murdered. Somehow, according to the book.
I see through time.
Yes, apparently. At this point, though, Reginald and Nathan will step up beside Mir and say, she may be new to this caravan, or Reginald was more like this, and he was more ostentatious, and he says, she may be new to the caravan, but she's traveled with these, and these are stalwart, friendly people who have done nothing but make this place made this caravan a safer place to travel. You need to back off. She's one of them, and that means she's fine. And you start hearing, more people, like the Saralim brothers, and Farida doesn't really get in because then it'll probably bring too many questions about who she is. But most of everybody that you've helped, Nathan, Reginald, even let's see, Lai, the salesman, and the oil salesman, Eri, the wood salesman, everybody's kind of rallying to your cause to defend Mir against Jeff and Felicia's accusations.
Who's missing?
Like
around the who's that's been crowded around? Is like anybody of import missing?
No. Everybody seems to be relatively around. And everybody, as they're rallying to your cause, they're like, why should we believe anything you say? You guys have been quiet, kept to yourself, standoffish. You're the ones that seem a little bit weird. Maybe it was one of your people that did it to, maybe it was one of your other guards or something. And, you see the other cultists up at the, kind of towards the front are starting to, move back and look around. But, yeah, there's basically, they don't have a good leg to stand on with this case because they've been kind of sketchy the entire time, and you guys have been open and trusting with pretty much everybody. And then you see the Red Wizard come walking forth, and he actually tries to calm the whole situation. He says, "Everybody, why don't we just calm down? This is just probably a misunderstanding. It's unfortunate that there is a loss of life. But I feel like everyone's tensions are high. The caravan trip is almost over. Why don't we all just calm down and we'll think about this rationally?"
He wasn't even very nice either. I say under my breath. Instigating.
And you hear, Nathan say, well, what are they? Then, yeah, Nathan says, well, why don't you guys open up your crates? Maybe we'll see if anything's missing. Maybe it was a theft in the night. And when he's, suggesting that they open up the crates in their caravan, they're like, never mind, everything's good. Forget it. Sorry we said that, guys. Everything's fine. We'll bury him. It's all good. Why don't we just move on?
The other person who was poisoned.
Yes.
Can you just remind me whose cart they were with?
He was with, he was just with another, this was I think the halfling guy who was all really quiet, I believe. Was the one who was poisoned.
Mm-hmm. Is that cart not with us anymore?
I believe they stopped. Let me see. I'm trying to find my notes here. Oh yeah, it was Jeff and Felicia's cart that turned over and all the gold spilled out, and he was kind of eyeing it.
You're cutting out.
How about now? Any better? Yes, no? Alright. It was Jeff and Felicia's cart had turned over, and all the gold had spilled out, and he was eyeing all the gold and jewels that had spilled out, and then he turned up sick the next morning, and then eventually dead.
Right, yeah, I just wanted to know whose cart he was with, if that cart was still around. But
yeah, he wasn't with them, he was with another cart, but it was tied to their cart. If that makes sense.
Sure.
So, however, most of the other kind of the merchants and everybody else, the common folk, basically say that, listen, there's no witnesses to this. Because they go, basically, you go around and ask everybody, you do your captainly duty, and nobody saw it happen. Nobody saw any confrontation between them at all. Confrontational arguments at all during the night or anything, so there's no witnesses. So everybody pretty much is in agreement that, nothing can be done. There's no witnesses.
Well, as long as we're all in agreement, then we shall bury the poor fellow and be on with it. and I stand over him and I say a little prayer.
Alright.
Roswin looks at
Be
you
free
like,
in your life. What's that face for?
she's like, she'll take you to the side later, away from people, and be like, Jeff and Felisa are so shady, and they backed down as soon as people wanted to look through their stuff. There's some things going on, buddy.
Yes, but we're not supposed to, like, make ourselves, like, super noticeable. Did you forget that part?
I mean, yeah, but we just told somebody from another guild all the stuff that you were supposed to keep secret anyway.
We work with other guilds all the time.
You don't even know what guild she's in.
I didn't hear any complaints last night. You're the one who brought her over.
Yeah, because I wanted to hear what she had to say. Well, if you don't think so, I just don't want this to come bite us in the butt later.
What do you want me to do? Search their cart?
Yeah.
But how? Like, there's not really any way to do. There's no reason.
Doing a thorough investigation is the reason. Nobody else would have anything to hide.
I don't know how to raise a complaint to force them to turn. It's their property. I can't just go into that. I'm still, as much as I seem like the law, I am not the law.
Everyone seems to think you are. I think that somebody died today and they're being really shady, and if they did something then they need to be avenged. But I'm not gonna go by myself because I'm not suicidal. Lex, what do you think? Lex is dead. They killed her too.
Sorry. So, has died and by stab wound, correct? Well, somebody poisoned somebody not too long ago, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed that somebody was trying to.
I was trying to suss out whether the companion of that halfling was still in the caravan, but
No, she stopped at the
That's right.
airport, yeah.
yeah, I was trying to suss out earlier.
Gotcha.
Complaining about anything being stolen, so like I just don't have.
No, they don't seem to be talking about anything missing.
Other than the fact that we just know stuff about them.
Well, everybody
Which
else
would give
seems
away
to think
that we
they're
know stuff about
suspicious
them.
too.
Where's their caravan?
At
It's in front of Farid.
Yeah, in front of Farida, behind Odella.
and this is the one that has like all the gold and all that stuff, right?
As from what you've seen, yeah. And remember that Jeff and Felicia are riding together, and one of the other, like, kind of unnamed NPCs that you guys never really met, or that maybe you did, I can't remember, that was killed during the spider attack, that Felicia said that they were good friends and took his caravan, and then they're riding next to each other.
No, I just don't think this is right. The second that they were gonna be under investigation, then suddenly it's not a problem anymore.
Or somebody else would die.
Tell you what, I'll see what I can do. I'll leave Roswin and I'll walk back to Felicia and Jeff.
Okay.
Basically be like, I'm sorry about your man, and then I'll be like, are you sure there isn't anybody else that this could have been? And like kind of start to try and open a dialogue with them.
They kind of look, give you cold stares, but they kind of look at each other and then look back at you and say, no, we checked. It doesn't look like anything's stolen. So, I guess no harm, no foul.
I mean, but your man is dead.
Yes, and that is unfortunate, but we're so close to Waterdeep. Sad that he had to die for what we don't know, but maybe we can just get there and then maybe we'll just try to put it behind us.
Take a better look at the wound and see if it was like a certain type of sword or something.
Oh, sure, make me a medicine check. You have your other thing, or whatever, don't you? If you fail a check. Or is that only a saving throw or an attack?
It's only a saving throw and an attack roll.
Well, even with your 5, yeah, it doesn't look. It looks like a short sword wound, not a long sword. You've done enough healing to know that it's a wound is bigger than a dagger, but it doesn't really fit the profile of a longsword or anything larger.
What did the gnome have?
Um,
I think it's super shady, but if Odella tells Rosalind to not do anything, she's not going to do anything. She's just going to keep watching them.
So, he's buried. Words are said over his buried corpse. And the 2 days pass, and you guys roll into the south gate of the city of Waterdeep. Caravan's over.
Finally!
So many people died.
It's true. There were a lot of dead people.
Is every caravan like this? I don't want to be a traitor.
I get my payment from Nathan.
Yes, you guys all get your payments.
I don't remember what mine was.
I think you had 8 gold a 10 day.
So 8 times 6.
Yep. 8 gold per 10 day. Light, you had 10 gold per 10 day. Actually, no, he hired you back at 15 gold per 10 day when he dismissed you and then realized that the people he hired were jerks.
Yeah, and then he owes me another bottle.
Yes, so you have 90 gold coming, Light, and then you get your bottle of whichever you prefer. So you have that as well. And, you know, they all kind of shake hands and say, you know, farewell to all of you because this was their final destination. So,
Did I get 10 gold or did I get 8 gold?
I think you got... I'll give you 10 gold because you assumed the role of the caravan leader. Nathan paid you 8 and, like, everybody else chips in the remainder just for, like, taking the responsibility of keeping everything under control.
Okay, for being taskmaster.
Basically. So...
Rosalind gives the Saralin brothers big teary hugs, and she's like, I'm so happy you guys made it, and you guys are gonna be great and become like the most famous woodcarvers ever, and I'm gonna miss you a lot.
And they are just... Oh, obviously the one brother doesn't say anything to you, really. The other one says, well, thank you. We had a wonderful time traveling with you. I wish the circumstances of the travel could have been better. But that was not your fault.
Same. And she druid crafts them flowers and then goes to go say goodbye to the rest of the caravan, including Farida.
Okay.
Farida.
Yes. So, they, so you guys are all touched down in Waterdeep. They kind of all go their separate ways. And who's left is Rosman, Odella, Lux, Mir, Jamna, Gleam Silver, and Carlin Amafel, who has been traveling with you the whole time as well when you rescued him from digging him up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
In the middle of the road. And he says to you all, he says, well, we're in a city that I'm quite familiar with, so if you guys have, if you don't have a place to stay, or I know of a place, and I also know of some people we can speak to that will be good to introduce you to.
Sounds good.
So, he starts to lead you off, and Jamna kind of stops him real quick, and she says, I picked up some information from the cultists. They're setting out of Waterdeep, heading north further in 2 days' time. We have 2 days in the city here before they take off. This is not their final destination. They're heading somewhere else. So, and then Carlin looks to her and says, I'm taking them. He says, I don't know how familiar you are with the city, but I'm going to take them to the Yawning Portal. And she says, I know it. I'll meet you there in 2 days' time. So, and then she kind of slinks away into the shadows.
We're in Waterdeep, right?
Correct.
You said Waterdeep?
Yep. This is Waterdeep is the City of Splendors. This is the largest city in the whole Sword Coast. This place is huge. There is so much to do here, so much to see. If you want to find it, or if it can be made or procured, this is the place to get it. Like Roswin, for you, this is like, I don't know if you've ever been to Waterdeep, but this is crazy. Like, this is huge. Like, this is like Country Bumpkin going to New York City for the first time, basically. Like,
She's a cute bumpkin, though.
yes.
Yeah, she's just like, where do we go? I bet you there's even an inn fancier than the one in Daggerford. I bet you they have a big bathtub.
And Carlin kind of chuckles and he goes, well, the place I'm going to take you to is a little bit different. But it's a staple, and if you're here in Waterdeep, you need to visit it at least once.
Tourist stuff.
Is there like a map that tells you where all the stars live?
For all intents and purposes, sort of. Like, it's... I mean, Waterdeep is just a massive city. There's so many famous people live here and have lived here. Like, I don't even know where to start. I mean, the population of Waterdeep is something like 2 million people. So, like, if that gives you, like, this is, like, ye olde times. So, think about 2 million people in the city. It's crazy.
It's tanky.
Yeah. So... there's a bunch of different wards. You know, there's temples to pretty much every god here. There's a ton of holidays and things that happen here. For all the different gods, all have their own kind of little section. Because it's on the water, there's ships, there's docks, there's all sorts of different districts with basically everything you could think of. Merchants is, tons of merchants, adventurers travel through here constantly. Odella and Mir both know that Tam Zawad is he's stationed here. He's the High Harper, and he's stationed here in Waterdeep. There are various guilds in Waterdeep, and tons of local nobility. Not a ton of crime. Let's see. Make me a history check, Odella. With advantage, because Amir will be able to tell you some stuff about this with her knowledge of roguiness. Wow. Then she says, well, look.
I'm doing so well.
She says, well, how about this then? She says, well, She says, okay, well, let me try, basically. Nope, alright. So, nobody knows. Well, whatever. She'll basically tell you that there's not a lot of crime, but Waterdeep being such a large city, there are crime syndicates, and there's one fairly famous one that you don't want to get on the wrong side of. There is basically like a mafia in Waterdeep, she'll tell you, ruled by a beholder crime lord named Xanathar. See Xanathar's Guide to
board game I play a lot.
I was gonna say, see Xanathar's Guide to Everything coming out in November from Wizards of the Coast. Basically, Carlin's gonna lead you to the Yawning Portal, which is, let's see, what district is the Yawning Portal in? It's in the Castle Ward district of Waterdeep, and you guys set yourself into this bar. Do I have like Yawning Portal? I might even have Yawning Portal music. That would be kind of cool.
Lex, we should totally find an Emerald Enclave outpost and see if they have any word on the eggs.
That's right, we should.
Yeah, that's good enough. So, this is like your adventurer bar. Like, this place is, it's run by a middle-aged man with a beard, fairly muscular, but the biggest thing that catches your eye is the massive 40-foot diameter hole in the center of the floor of the bar. This, if you peer down this, it goes beyond your sight, and there's actually like a crane, like a well crane with like a basket crank there.
What's down there? I ask somebody.
Carlin will tell you that is the entrance to the legendary dungeon of Undermountain. This bar was built on top of the entrance to that dungeon, and treasures gained from beneath there is what allowed Durnan to purchase this bar. And that you can pay money to go down into the dungeon and see how well you can do. It's a massive, sprawling dungeon contained beneath the city, and I think it's 100 gold to get sent down the basket. Some people do it just for the thrill. Other people do it to actually try their luck. But, you know, it's I'm sorry, its entrance down the well is 1 gold. It's 1 gold per person. My mistake. And to get hoisted back up, it's another gold per person. You have to put the gold in the basket, have it hoisted back up, and then they'll send it back down and pull you back up again, so they know you're not, trying to cheat them.
One day I'm gonna go down there, but not today. I'm a little scared of it.
But he says, it's a good place to get a drink, and they do have rooms and places that you can stay here. But he says he's going to head out into the city to try and meet with a couple of folks that are important that you need to know. And he looks to Odella and Mir specifically, and he says there is a prominent Harper who lives here that I feel you would be, and he kind of whispers it because, Harper's trying to keep things relatively secret, that he wants to introduce you to. And there's another also powerful ally he would like to you guys all to meet. So, he basically, and then he'll lead you guys over to like a booth, and a waiter will come around and you guys can order drinks or anything you would like.
Rosé, please.
Of course. And then, if you guys don't want anything, that's fine too, but they'll basically take your drink order and any food orders you want.
Some mead.
Sure. I don't know what Mir drinks, but she'll have whatever. And then
Bowl of milk.
a saucer of milk. And she just like holds the non-face.
She can have a white Russian.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Whatever a Russian is.
Yeah, whatever that is. And then, yes, whatever Lux would want, if she wants anything at all.
I'll try a rosé.
Oh, man.
Clink!
Little champagne flutes clink. And he says, you are obviously more than welcome to stay here to get rooms upstairs. He says, as I said, I'll be heading out into the city to try and track down those allies to introduce you to them. And then I know I will look for you here tomorrow afternoon to introduce those allies to you, but until then, your time is your own and you can choose to stay wherever you like.
Carlin?
Yes.
Do you know where the best bathhouse in town is?
He says, I don't, but I'm sure Durnan would know, who's the bartender here.
Ah, Durnan, of course. We're gonna be friends for these next 2 days.
So.
Alright, bye.
Alright, so he's gonna set out. He'll finish his drink, chat with you guys a little bit, and then he'll head out. And you guys are left, the four of you alone in the bar. Oh, and Farida's there. Oh, Farida said goodbye to you before.
Oh, if I need to find you, where can I find you? Where are you going? I'm gonna miss you.
She says she'll be here for a little while. She doesn't really know where she's gonna end up. But
Okay, well,
she says that she is practiced with ritual casting, and she'll find a way to send a message to you.
oh wait, a what? You cut out. You keep cutting out, actually.
Sorry, she'll find a way to send a message to you.
Okay, well, if you ever need me, let me know, and I'll fly to you as quickly as I can.
And she says, well, thank you. I hope to see you again.
Yep, be safe, and thank you for everything.
And she'll give you a hug and then part ways.
Friendship. I'm putting her down in my bond section.
Okay. Yeah, so basically, you guys are able to have a conversation with Dern and find the most illustrious bathhouse in all of Waterdeep, which is, this is 10 gold a night for this place. Maybe even a little more than that, maybe 20 gold. This is a fancy-ass place.
I just got paid.
That's true, you did.
I don't have to borrow money from Lux this time. Well, I will be going there. If anybody wants to come, you can, but we deserve this.
Yep, so you're able to secure a room with a wonderful bathtub and a suite, because those exist in my version of Hoard of the Dragon Queen.
Yeah! And we order pie.
And you order, and they happen to have all of your favorite pies in the kitchen. Because this is Waterdeep, and everything's great.
Well, Roswin gains +1 food baby.
Gotcha. And then, yeah, you guys basically have the rest. You have essentially 2 days in Waterdeep to do whatever you choose to do.
Well, I want to go to the Emerald Enclave and see if they've heard any word of the dragon eggs.
Okay. We can do that. I'm thinking we talked about keeping this to be a relatively short episode because we don't have Liz to play Mirror, and this will come up on... Hey, thank you for the follow, Gravy Kingpin.
Yay,
Kingpin
thank you.
of
I love gravy.
We'll probably end not too long after we deal with a couple of little things here, but that way you guys can still have time in the city of Waterdeep with her as well to explore what you choose to explore. So, you head to an Emerald Enclave in the city, and you are able to track down some folks, and you're asking specifically about the black dragon's eggs that you left with Pickle.
Yeah, my buddy Pickle who's seen me naked.
Oh, I forgot to have Pygot do more naked people. Damn
Yeah,
it.
you shoulda.
I should have. I forgot. It's not too late yet. You're in a city full of thousands of people, millions of people. A lot of naked people could be popping up. It'd be like sensory overload, the amount of people. I don't know if Pygot could even handle that. That's too many people.
Only one way to find out.
That's true. Yeah, so you're able to track down, and you find out that the eggs are currently being well cared for by Pickle and Ivan at the moment. They have to... Oh, no, wait, they already did that. So, yeah, they're being well cared for. They haven't hatched yet, but they assure you that they are in good hands. Good, capable hand, I should say. Because Pickle only has the one.
Okay. Is there any way to get a letter to Pickle?
And they say that, yes, they can arrange that to happen.
Okay, I will write a letter, and I will give you the letter later after I actually write it. Just
Okay.
send a pickle.
All right. I will make sure that that happens when you actually write it. Light or Katie, did you guys have anything specific that you wanted to do that's kind of on the smaller side of things while you're here? I want to wait for Laura to pop back in before I, say like, hey, we're done.
I mean, I'd have to think about it. I'd rather wait till next time.
Which is fine. We did
Yeah,
the major part, which was get you guys out of that damn caravan. But while we wait for Laura to come back, what did you guys think of the how the caravan went? It could be run a lot of different ways. A lot of those things were random encounters that might not happen, but I wanted to try to. There were a lot of them were kind of cool. I wanted to try to get as many of them in as possible.
Yeah, I liked it. Like we discussed, it was good because we were having to switch off of characters to be able to have that time to get in the groove of things.
Sure.
And I feel like ending it, although it took forever for us because we play every other week, which is
that's true.
That's on us, whatever. But it really just feels more natural that way, I guess. Because realistically, if you're on a 60-day travel with people, you get closer with them. So.
Yep. Okay. Well, I'm glad that it was relatively enjoyable.
That being said, I'm super happy that it's over, but I'm glad we did it because I'm ready to keep going with the adventure.
Yeah.
It was really hard to not just like bust in there and be like, "You got a friggin' beholder! Kill him!"
Well, I'm glad that you didn't, because that probably would not have ended very well.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to the whole time.
Fair. Yeah. So while we still wait for Laura to come back, anything you guys have going on that you want to plug while we're hanging out?
Not really.
No,
I'm
not really.
playing some Divinity 2, which is really fun. You guys should go in the Discord for Nerd Immersion. Ted, type it up.
I'm doing that.
Because I really want to get a group of 4 people to play Divinity 2 with, because it's not as fun playing without the 4, because then somebody has to control an NPC, which is fine, but I don't know. I just think it'd be more fun with 4 people.
Okay. If you guys are on Xbox Live and you're Destiny 2 players, I've been doing a lot of that lately, so you guys can, if you're there, you can add me on Xbox, and I will gladly jump on and play with you guys whenever possible. And again, if you missed it at the beginning, we're going to be doing another Extra Life stream in November, continuation of last year's craziness. You'll see a lot of interesting things like gourds and Bro 90X and beer pong and other things of that nature.
You guys should definitely watch. Like, almost everybody who participated in that crazy ass stream was like, "That was the best game of D&D ever." We all had so much fun. I'm coming back as a level 12. Well, if I start in the first stream, we'll see. Fighter named Scarlet. She's a huge bro. Like, made Bro 90X a thing.
It's true, she did.
And she's got Dwarven Plate, a Vorpal Longsword, Belt of Fire Giant Strength, and is just dope.
Yeah, she did get a lot of stuff and then just walk off, so...
Yeah, I literally killed a guy, which Ted could have totally killed me because I stole the Vorpal Longsword off of him, and he had saved up a nat 20. But he was like, "I'm gonna let this go."
Yeah, I would have been a fitting way to end her character, just decapitated by a headless horseman. But,
yeah, but instead she went off to a party in the clouds.
Yes, she did. I forgot about that, man. I'm gonna have to watch it too.
Yeah, I think all those are online too. If you guys
They
wanna
are.
watch to catch up with where we're starting off. I think you said 5 years later.
Yes, it's going to be 5 years in the future. So a lot of things are going to happen. Things are going to grow. Dragons are going to age. Squirtles are going to evolve to war turtles. You know, things of that nature. I'm going to post the link to the playlist for that. It is a playlist here on Twitch as well, so you can watch it on Twitch and get Flint bucks for it, or you can watch it on YouTube if that's your preferred method of watching.
It's awesome, and honestly, like, it's so fun even when you're not, playing, to just be there watching. And if you want to donate to be ridiculous and also to help some kids, like, some crazy shit happens. I've also got a huge buff bro is my mount that got donated to me, so I just piggyback on him, and it's great.
Yeah.
What I missed?
You guys made it to Waterdeep. They found out that the eggs are okay in the careful hand of Pickle. For now. And then we've basically decided we're pretty much going to end this stream at this point, so that way when Mir comes back next time, you guys will have time in Waterdeep to really experience the city. It also gives you guys time to think about what you may want to do or not do. So we basically have just been talking about things we want to plug, and then talking about the upcoming live stream.
I'm not gonna say much, but I'm not playing the same character that I played last year, in case you did watch the last year's stream, because she is now a very well-established lord of a town, probably.
Yes, she basically owns a town. I can't remember if it was Neverwinter or Waterdeep.
I think it was Neverwinter.
It might have been Neverwinter.
I don't remember.
It was Neverwinter.
Okay, well, there you go. It was Neverwinter.
But yeah, and she has manslaves. That's just canon in my head. I don't know if she actually does.
As far as I'm concerned, she does.
I promised Katie that there'd be a special something with my new character. So if you want to see me attempt to do a terrible Scottish accent, tune in.
If you're Scottish, you'll be insulted.
Most likely.
Yeah, 24-hour streams are fun. I do want to say a special shout out to the over 80 different people who followed the channel during the last 24-hour stream. Like the one that happened this weekend, we got 80 followers during that. It was crazy.
Woo.
Nice.
And we raised $1,000 for, Extra Life, so that was awesome. So I was real pumped about that. That was really cool. And our goal is 1611, and we raised $1,000 in the first stream. So we have $611 left to raise for the second stream. And unlike last time, where most of the things were single donations that happened one time for the length of the stream, like donating to give somebody Timora's Blessing, a +1 on all rolls, happens for the whole stream last time. This happens, there's going to be multiple players, so you have that multiple times. A Deck of Many Things is available to be donated every 3-hour session rather than once for the course of the game. So last year we had like 5 or 6 Deck of Many Things appear. So
That's how Shannon became Lord of Town.
yeah, that's also how they destroyed the whole plot of the game in like the last 15 minutes of one 3-hour session.
That's also how somebody turned into a gourd and there was art made for it.
That is true. A lot of wonky stuff happened, and it all started because I didn't prepare anything. I had like a loose story thread and a random encounter table, and then everything changed when the gourds
random
attacked.
encounter happened in the first
It did.
hour.
It happened
where
in
we
the
met the gourd man,
and that was it. You walked on, and that was it. You left. Until they went back to him to try to heal him. And then everything changed.
That was the best thing, and all the gourd puns that were made, oh my god. Like, it was so good. It was so silly. It was so laid back, but like the combat was still cool because you were pulling like a bunch of homebrew stuff to do it, and so everybody was surprised still, even though we were really OP. But I mean, it was just laid back, and honestly, once it got to the later 3-hour periods, like I would die
The man
because
math.
I would just be like, I hit it and don't do anything smart, just keep hitting.
Yeah, the puns and the humor start to, and there is a chunk missing because my computer decided to do a non-negotiable update, so I had to deal with that at like the 2 o'clock in the morning section.
I remember that. Huge chunk.
I just sat here in my computer, in my chair, trying to not fall asleep, watching my little thing update. So yeah, I mean, spoiler, like a little, not a spoiler, a teaser. Gordon, the Pumpkin King, was slain, and his that vacuum of power needs to be filled. So who will take
Bum, bum, bum.
what's gonna happen this year? Who knows? But lastly, before we sort of sign off, I want to plug again this Twitter poll. Tomorrow night is our regular Tuesday games that we always do. We're not sure what we want to do because we just streamed 24 hours of Tomb of Annihilation. Didn't finish it, but got a large chunk of the way through. And it's hard to basically do what would be 8 regular sessions and then just stop entirely. So we're debating, do we continue with our Continuum homebrew game that I designed, where we've done 5 episodes, or do we try to just finish out Tomb of Annihilation now, while it's fresh in everybody's mind? On the marketing side of thing, it's relevant because it just came out today to regular stores so other people can go pick it up. So, it's currently irrelevant to what's going on. Do we finish that and then jump back on Continuum, or do we can keep going with Continuum and try to squeeze Tomb of Annihilation in at some point? Well, if you want us to do Tomb of Annihilation, go hit that and click Tomb of Annihilation for your vote. There are 13 hours left, because basically that gives me about 4 hours, I think, to prepare for whatever we're going to do that night. So go ahead and click that and let me know what you guys want to do. Laura's coughing up a lung.
Yeah.
So
That's cold.
I think that's probably going to do it for us. Unless you guys have anything else you want to say and or do, we'll call this stream a little bit early. And everybody can go do their own thing.
No, I just want to apologize for being missing for the past 2 games. I want to be here. I like being here. I just think life gets in the way. So
Yeah, listen, I mean, I started to get a little worrisome because this is how the death of campaigns start. One player can't show up a couple times, and then a different player can't show up, and then it's like, do we play, do we not play? And then nobody gets an answer, and then time goes on, and then the campaign just disappears into nothingness.
Unless Mud Puppy becomes the next Belladonna.
Yeah, right?
He's here every week. Even more than me.
So, anyway, guys, thank you for coming out and supporting. Thank you to all the new folks that are coming to check stuff out that have just joined on after the 24-hour stream. We appreciate it. The Extra Life links are still open if you want to go check that out. You can still donate now. You can donate in advance of next stream if you want to try to plan stuff out ahead of time. Like, we already had a donation last night to add an NPC into the game coming up. So we've already had a $50 donation for that. So I'll work with the ladies and everybody else to set up their own individual Extra Life pages in case you guys want to help determine anything about their characters, like we sort of did that last time. Especially, for Laura, she's a brand new character.
I will do anything people want, except for my accent is already set in stone
Yes.
because I'm not trying to learn a new accent in like a day or whatever.
Yeah, so. Alright, guys, with that, thank you all so much for coming out. We'll see you tomorrow night for something that hasn't been determined yet. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a good night.
Bye.